this low-key, wondering about how I met my boyfriend, my beautiful partner. So before I start, please make sure you subscribe, and please check me out on TonyBomboni.com. Support the channel. It does go a long way when you book a service, whether a 15-minute or a 30-minute service or a 1-hour long session. Book yourself a custom video today, and I'll get it to you to your email inbox within a day or two. Don't forget to check me out on Cameo. I currently have a 20% off discount on cameo.com/TonyBomboni. Make sure you check out my online courses, my Spotify and Apple Music as well. Those are all great ways to support the channel. Thank you for your support. So, sorry, I'm chewing on a vitamin. I have to take my vitamins so I can be good for you, okay? Alright. So, let's begin. Basically, as of yesterday was the first time we met 1 year ago. So, we started kind of like dating before we officially met, because they were going to move down here. So, first of all, my partner and I have a little bit of an age gap, not too much of a difference, but to me it never mattered. It's about a 12-year age gap. He's 12 years older, but again, what does it matter? I never looked at age that way anyway. It really truly is just a number. But I'm just saying it for the purpose of this video to kind of give you in detail about him. And he is Jewish, and his name is Avi, as you guys know, but that's not his real name. So I mean, yeah, you won't be able to like find him. It's just a Jewish name, but it is his real name, right? Respectfully, it's his Hebrew name, so it's like Avraham, right? So apparently I didn't know that that name was common. I had no idea. So let me backtrack a little bit. I think I'm getting too ahead of myself. So I gave you the basic information, right? He is from Maryland, from Baltimore. And you guys know I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. So basically, he has watched my channel since like almost the very beginning. This channel has came out in 2012. He started watching, I think, 2013, 14 cusp, because my Fairy Boy roleplay came out on Tosh.0. It was a TV show that was aired many years ago. And, yeah, like who knew he would be seeing me on TV, and he just like wanted me right then and there. He was like, I want that one. And I had no idea, like, someone was thinking about me this whole entire time that way. Like, you know, I kind of struggled in love for the longest time, and maybe that was for a reason, so I could meet him. And, you know, I didn't want to make this video at first, like, I guess a few months back, because I didn't know if, you know, this would have even worked, you know, because, like, it's nothing to do with him. It's just like my past experiences have been so cruddy that I just thought, you know, this is not gonna work either. It might last maybe 5-6 months tops, and that's it, you know. So I didn't want to like talk about him in this way until I felt more sure that this would be a genuine good relationship for me, you know. And you know, there's a lot I didn't want to like spoil, you know, and talk about too soon online. And so, but I'm just gonna tell you, like, you know, how we met. Really, that's the focus of this video today, for the most part. Sorry, that was my stomach. I just had sausages and potatoes. Which were very good, by the way. So, I'm getting better at cooking. But yeah. So, all those years later, basically, I did a thing where on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram at ASMRER, I'm the one and only original ASMRer, okay? Even this username is ASMRer. else can take that name, so it's not hard to find me. But basically, I had a Christmas cards that I was giving out to people, and I first started to give out 5 Christmas cards. Apparently, I don't remember this, but he reminds me. And then I felt bad because so many people were requesting free Christmas cards. I ended up giving away like 50, right? Handwritten Christmas cards. So this was the Christmas of 2020. Oh my god, my dog just made the noise. When he presses on the toy, it makes like a farting noise. It's so funny. Anyway, so Christmas 2023. I have decided to write a bunch of free Christmas cards. And I did that in 2022. I did that in 2024 as well. But who knew I would get a response back? I sent them out, I think, around Halloween that year, very early. And then he sent me back a card, and I think he sent me back a Christmas gift, if I'm not mistaken. It was not just any gift, it was a box full of things. So many crystals, chocolates, and, unfortunately I couldn't eat the chocolate because of the card, but I forgot my pens and so much stuff. I literally laid out, like, my dining table was full of stuff he sent me. And it took me literally 2 hours to get through because it was so much stuff. I almost felt like I didn't deserve it. I was like, wow, he really likes me or something. Like, I felt like that right away. I kind of knew deep down, like, this is something more. Like, I'm telling you, I've been on YouTube for how many years now? 17 years. No one has ever sent me that much, ever. And it's not that I'm not grateful, it's just like, I think that he probably wanted to make it obvious that, like, he likes me, you know what I mean? In a different way than just friends. Although he started with the intention of friends, he kind of just started like, hey, can I be your friend? And then we started talking to each other on the phone. So we talked like every night for like 3-4 hours. And then he like confessed to me basically that he's always been thinking about me, and I kind of had to like ask a lot of questions. I love asking questions, and that's kind of how to get information out of someone, obviously, so like, yeah. And then, I wasn't sure how to feel at first because I'm like, okay, let me get a feel for this guy, let me see, is this like, is he just playing games? Like, what is this all about? Like, so many people have hurt my heart over the years that I'm like super skeptical, right? And so I'm like, alright, the best way to get to know someone is really just talk to them and see what place they're coming from. But I really wanted to see him in person before we officially started dating. So I was like, can we just be friends until, you move down here, you figure something out, because he was planning to move down well before even, like, he ever thought he would have even talked to me. He thought, like, my DMs were full of guys. Oh, great. That damn fly came in here. I don't know how that fly came in here, y'all. I may have to open my door so I can get out. Please tell me that fly did not land on me. Okay. So, I'm gonna open that door. Hold on, guys. That nasty fly. Get out of here. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. So, anyways. I was very problematic. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was giving him a hard time because I was so untrusting. And, I didn't want to be taken advantage of in a way I was before with different people. And, I was basically still recovering from my ex. That, your first in-person boyfriend will break your heart, you know what I mean? No matter how long you're with them, no matter how much you hate them, right? So I was still getting over him, admittingly, and processing a lot of thoughts and feelings. Even a year and a half after was just so much I was like hurting about, like, you know, still having regrets, like maybe it could have worked out, maybe not. And then attachment, you know, it took a long time to let that go, you know. So while this guy jumps into my life a year and a half after my breakup, you know, to me it still felt too soon. You know, I take things very slowly usually nowadays. You know, if he met me when I was like 18 or 24, you know, I would have just desperately jumped right in. But I'm not that kind of person anymore. I think, you know, quality starts from the foundation, a ground up approach. And that's what we did. You know, it started with almost every night, like 4-hour phone calls for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And then, as I said, we made plans, and a year ago yesterday, he came to visit me for the first time, and I picked him up at a hotel, and I just like jump out of my car, give him a big hug, and he gives me some gifts again, some sweet gifts, and it's just so much happened. I can't even remember every detail, but yeah, so then we hang out, we spent time on the beach, and then, you know, at nighttime we spent time in another beach, and then we had our first kiss, so that was like, you know, super romantical. So, yeah, so I guess, you know, it took me a while. At first he said I kind of looked nervous. I was, you know, when you meet someone online, you're gonna be nervous, obviously. You know, I think probably severe social anxiety. Not so much nowadays, to the point where I'm afraid to go in public. It used to be so bad where I was like afraid to even go to the store. Nowadays, it's more in the form of I'm super uncomfortable around people who approach me and want to talk to me. Like, extremely uncomfortable. Like, I tense up inside. I'm never comfortable. I don't think I ever will be. I've always kind of felt to this planet. So, like, you know, yeah, it's apparently that's still severe social anxiety. So whatever, you know what I'm saying. So obviously I'm not gonna be like that comfy with you until I warm up, and it takes me about, I would say, at least 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how approachable you are, for me to genuinely start warming up to you, but to actually like fully be myself around you, authentically, true colors and all, months. It literally takes at least 3 to 6 months. I kid you not, even with a new date. And I think that's why I've always had such a hard time trusting. It's a Virgo thing too, because I really want to see the quality in a person and their genuine authenticity shine through, and that they're not bullcrapping me, they're not lying, they're not trying to cheat, steal, use me, that sort of thing, you know? So, you know, I can't fully give all of myself from my heart to you until I warm up to you. That's why even the first few months of this channel, I'm sure I wasn't myself either until I built an audience and became more comfortable with you, and, you know, all the makeup and stuff. So that gets you to know me as a person. So I think that's why things haven't worked out before, because they saw one Tony in the first few months, and then they saw a completely different Tony in months after. So he's had to see the ups and downs of me, and the unexpected, the surprising, all of it. But he comes from a background and a place where he's had a very hard life, so he's seen it all. So I, because of my probably borderline personality disorder, tried to push him away so many times with fail, you know. It's like trying to push a boulder away, like, meaning, like, he's very strong, he's very, he knows himself, and he has values, and he's very smart, and so, like, that approach did not work, you know. It's not because I didn't like him, it's because of the disorder. Do you see what I'm saying? Mental health is very complex, it's hard to explain. It's not personal to him or anyone. I do that to everyone, you know, who's getting to know me on a personal level, because it's a fear, it's a defense mechanism, it's a fear of, like, abandonment. So it's like you push them away before they can hurt you, you see. So so I've had to do a lot of work in the last year, very heavy work, deep inner dives that I've never had to do. Like, I've had to do, but, like, not this this deep, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so uncomfortable. And to really realize, like, look, you either lose this person and regret it for the rest of your days. A good person, really a good, rare gem. Really, he is, like, the best, hands down. No one can tell me otherwise, you know what I mean? Like, and once I kind of really grasped that and understood that, and other people in the circle told me that, like, I saw, like, okay, do not lose this one, do not F this one up, because you will literally destroy yourself, you will literally regret it, you know? So, it's almost like having to be molded and shaped into a completely different person than you used to be, you know? And on top of that, you know, still asking to trust this person while, you know, I know I'm speaking third person, this person, but you know what I mean? Well, I'm talking about myself at the time. I'm not that good with English, but trusting even though your experiences were nothing but crap. You know, it's like if someone constantly sees horrible things and you expect them to be happy, how is that going to work? You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I had to literally mold myself into a completely different person, and sometimes that sounds wrong. That sounds like I have to shapeshift. In a weird way, I kind of do. Because again, my personality is so complex and deep. Only a very good qualified therapist will really understand me. Because I do not feel things like guilt. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, that's very freaking hard to get into a relationship with anyone who's like that. So understandably so. I'm pretty sure I have narcissism. I'm pretty sure. Don't we all, right? But so I mean, if you're borderline, you're automatically narcissism as well. So yeah. So basically, you kind of have to like. You have empathy and compassion, but it's like I felt sometimes like I almost had to pretend, you know, at the beginning, and that made me very uncomfortable. And then when like a few months in you show, you know, how you really feel about certain topics, then it may make someone very uncomfortable. But again, because he's seen it all, it came as no surprise to him. So yeah, it doesn't mean I'm a bad person, right? Like, that's the thing people have to realize about mental health. It's like, as long as you do your best and you make the right choices, you are a good person, you know what I mean? Like, you're not operating out of a place of evil, right? Which I could easily do, but I choose not to, because that sucks, and that's horrible, and that's bad karma, you know? So, especially when you're more spiritually aware, I could go on and all day about that. So anyway, I'm trying to give you an emphasis on how hard it is for me to be in love. So this was a freaking miracle, is what I'm trying to say. It felt like I won the lottery, the jackpot, you know what I mean? And it wasn't toxic. He comes from a medical, kind of like mental health, background. And so he knows, you know, about the BDSM. I would not be, not BDSM, I'm sorry, wrong word, YouTube. Oh my god. No, that is not what we do, okay? In private, no. That's private. I'm gonna be like Onisha Robinson now. No. Oh my god, laugh out loud. I meant to say, what is the word? DSM, I think 5 or something like that, where they talk about like psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, borderline people. You know, that's in that category, categorized as, it sucks they say this, but apparently dangerous, right? Because yes, when I get angry, I get like, ooh, like, oh my god, super crazy, irrational, scary. That's another story. So I'm not gonna go into my personal business like that, but he's seen me through that too, so ciao. Yeah. You know, anyone would have just ran out the door. He's seen me when I was going woo, cray. So like, he's seen it all. I've said things to him no one has said to him, like, you know, he's really patient and calm. So this was like, child, again, not to go in my business, but he has dealt with me, like, every relationship, right? This is like, I'm not going too deep, because like, literally everyone deals with this. Everyone has fights, everyone has arguments once in a while, so I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'm trying to say is, like, again, the good person he is, and he comes from a spiritual background, so he's deep in his Judaic beliefs, which I respect. You know, I respect everyone's beliefs, whether you're Buddhist, whether you're Christian, whether you're Catholic, whether you're a monk in the mountains in China, okay? Everyone, all that comes from a place is a peace and love regardless. And so, I've had to learn a lot and kind of like shape and mold my beliefs. Kind of, even on the phone, we've had very intense conversations about politics and stuff like that. We just do not, we just differ like oil and water on. Because I come from a more neutral approach to things. I don't really pick sides, you know what I mean? So it's very hard for me to kind of mold or fit in. I still to this day, almost feel like I have to like mold myself to be someone else. I'm working on that because I'm trying to be authentic in my beliefs and stand firm in my authentic truth while still getting along with someone who kind of sees things different, you know what I'm saying? And that's everyone, all my friends in my past, all my family, we all kind of I think we all see things a little differently, we're not all going to be, I think society and media try so hard to shape-shift us into just one viewpoint, that three-letter agency news media outlet viewpoint, when that's just what you're being told and fed and sometimes lied to, honestly. And what about listening to your heart? What does it feel like when they say what they say online? You know what I mean? Or when you even read news articles, does this align with your values and your truth? You have to ask yourself these questions. So basically, that was very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. People think just because I'm gay, I have the viewpoint of all the gay men. Most gay men. I do not trust and believe. I do not agree with most gay men no, I do not. They have very different beliefs and viewpoints of the world than I do. And so that also makes it very, 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 very difficult. Okay. Yeah, I have the viewpoint of a straight white Christian male in the country. And that's very, 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 very difficult for a lot of people to handle and deal with when you're in love, when you're trying to date someone. And it gives sometimes a bad taste in people's mouth, But I love everyone. I don't care again what viewpoint people have. I respect everyone equally. I'm not hate-filled. I'm not going to be bashing someone because they believe, because I have such a wide, I believe in some Christian things, some Buddhist things, some blah, 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 blah. There's so many peaceful religions and I don't really just pick one, you know what I mean? So I'm also open-minded, and I think that makes people very uncomfortable. Some people at least. But anyways, child. So yeah, basically, I've had to really stretch my mind and expand my way of thinking and not have, I never had hate in my heart like that for different opinions, but not be so angry when someone faces me or, how do I say, challenges my viewpoint. Yes. So that was very difficult, not to let my ego get in the way. So that was a lot of our first conversations on the phone. Intense. I'm talking about up to 2 in the morning talks, right? So that's what happens when you get to know someone. It's a very in-depth. You have to know people deep, deep, deep. It takes years to get to know someone. It really does, I'm telling you. Years and years and years. It takes a lifetime. Nowadays, I genuinely believe it takes a lifetime because people change and you change. So you have to adjust accordingly. And does this person still align with my values and beliefs? And you have to check in with yourself at least every few months to see, does this new person in front of me align with who I am, this new person that I am as well? And that's the work most people are just not willing to do. I've also had to put aside a lot of stuff in conversations, set boundaries. That's important because I used to be the one that didn't respect people's boundaries, didn't understand them, and now I had to become the one that does that, and also at the same time respect other people's boundaries as well. And again, for someone that's borderline, it's very, very, very difficult to do that for certain reasons I won't go into. But yes, so basically it's all a learning process, and thank God I'm smart, because if I was a dumbass, I'm sorry, if I was like -2 IQ, it would be very difficult to learn, you know, a lot of this stuff. I'm just being honest with you. It's very genuine. I don't mean to say like other people are less smart, or you know what I'm saying. Like it just, it's very, 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 very difficult to pinpoint, analyze what's wrong with you, how you can improve, and while not hurting your ego. So this topic just makes me very uncomfortable overall. That's a sign of growth, I guess, right? Okay, you're doing good. All right, so let's move on. So, basically, now that we have kind of gotten through the hard first few months and done the heavy work, things got better, and, we started dating a year ago on February 22nd, and then we were in a relationship, May 22nd, so it hasn't been technically a full year yet in a relationship, but dating it has been, and since we first met, it has been a year plus by now. So we were in Cancun, Mexico, and then he, asked to be my boyfriend, and I said yes, because at that point we were a week away from him moving in to his place in Florida. So we were just talking about that yesterday, like how crazy it is that time went so quick, first of all, and that was just like already a year ago since all this started unfolding. And so he's had to visit a few times. Let me backtrack a bit. Before May, a few times back and forth, and I visited him once in Maryland last year, to just see him, hang out, spend time. We saw each other about once a month, on average, until he officially moved in. So then he got his U-Haul truck and drove all the way down by himself, and then I, was looking for places for him to rent. I found him a place. We found this duplex, and then he just temporarily moved in there until now. He's like gonna get out of there and move in with me now, which is crazy. Again, like that's, a year just goes by so quick, and so yeah, that's why you see some of his stuff back here. It's like he's slowly moving stuff in. So there's a lot to process right now, but it's gonna feel good to, finally have this home filled out with more furniture. You're not gonna hear that echo sound you usually hear in empty rooms, because this house is kind of big for one person, so I didn't really have that much to fill it out to begin with. So, basically, where was I at? So he moves in around beginning of June last year, and we then get to spend more time together and go on dinner dates and do usual couple activities, and it felt good. And he took about 7 months off from work because he's been working pretty much all his life, and working in counseling, it's very difficult working with people who are addicts. So he just needed a break, and he took a break, and we got to go on many trips. We went to Arizona together. Gosh, we went to Maryland again, and then again, I think, because of the hurricane, and we just went all over Florida. Like, I lost count, like, how many places we went to, really. Just so many adventures. And so, yeah, it was beautiful, and, it took a while to really, like, feel that feeling, but then, like, I guess when did I really confess my love? Oh my gosh, I think it was, I don't know, it was at least 2 or 3 months after being boyfriends. I was like telling him I loved him, and it slipped out. I didn't even mean it. It just like, it totally slipped out. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, oh, it's because I love you. It was, oh, look, did I say that word? No. Again, my pain of my past, saying that to someone and then getting hurt. Yeah, so I was like, ooh, do not say the L word, right? Do not say that you hurt them, but he took it well, and he said he loved me too. So that meant a lot. I broke down crying, and it was just so beautiful, and now I love him even more. I love him to bits, Yeah, so I always call him my hubby, my husband now, like, we're not married, but hopefully someday.
I can't see myself with anyone else now. Like, all people in my past are just ugly, horrible people. I don't even like see any, like, I'm not even like thinking about them anymore, which is beautiful. And this was like the most healing relationship I could have possibly had. This person just emotionally, I feel like, not in a therapy kind of way, not in a counselor kind of way, but just being himself helped me through so much. And being so smart, helped me work out so many things that was going on, that was bothering me, that was eating me inside. And, it almost feels like I'm kind of like almost like a completely different person than just like a year or two ago. And I feel a lot better, thank God. It took a lot of prayer, a lot of asking God, like journaling, yes, even counseling, to like really make me solid, to accept that I deserve a relationship for once, for goodness sake. I'm 30, like, this has to happen already. I have tried for so long, and I put so much intention, so much money, so much effort, just to make this happen. And this is all I wanted in life. Like, this is my everything, more than, a YouTube channel that is full-time, or more than, moving out or living out by myself, more than having pets. All my dreams have been accomplished. This has always been something I haven't, and now I can finally say it has been accomplished. And I'm still dreaming, and I'm still going, and he inspires me so much, he motivates me so much to keep working hard. And like, I was so afraid to, like, actually what they call fall in love, where you just give in and you're attached to a person, and you need them sometimes. And that was always like icky territory for me. That was always like, no, you don't go there, because you have to be strong. And what if this person's not around tomorrow? How are you going to live? How are you going to survive? But just to give myself permission to actually love and actually feel the hurt and the pain of that possibility unfolding is beautiful but scary at the same time. But like, just to allow myself to experience life. And this is why I came here, to experience, obviously. So haven't we all, right? So, I think that's where the genuine, authentic feeling of love can come through. And that's what this connection has taught me. And, I was very happy to like meet his friends and his family members. And it just made me feel so like, just content, and just fulfilled. Like, it feels so natural. Like, I'm not, like, I don't have to like try hard to be someone else I'm not, or put on a face. Like, I just actually, even with his family, his friends, like, I felt like I'm just myself for the first time, and that's, like, even around him, I don't feel like I have to pretend to be someone else now. And his energy is very calm and very subtle, and it makes me comfortable. It doesn't give me anxiety like people in my past. So, I think that's always a sign that it's the right person. And there were so many signs that this was going to work out, even from spirit. And I guess I can safely say that now. But yeah, but also like the comfort in knowing like he's wanted me for like like 10 years from the time I've met him. So like, someone trying to manifest you that long and put in the work and buy things. He's even bought things for me years ago with the intention of giving them to me. Like, that's crazy. And I didn't even know who he was. Like, sometimes I wonder, like, really, what did I do really to deserve that? But yeah, I guess when you put yourself out there for millions of people, eventually you're going to get someone, right? But, I do believe God's watching. I do believe prayer works, and it's most likely that. And he's a person of faith, of course. And he prays, and that's beautiful. He has such a close connection with God, and, someone with, like, just good values. And that's really something that I didn't have before. I've always meeting people who just, like, bar hopping, and nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, like, they just didn't believe in God. I talked to them about spirituality, like, it's like talking to a wall, like, so I'm not saying anyone who doesn't have spiritual beliefs that it's like you're a wall. No, I'm just saying that's how
educated, he's so informed in that, and he studied religion, and like, you know, it just works. I know I'm going too deep. I said I wouldn't, but it's hard not to share when someone asks, like, how did you meet? I can't just explain in one 5-minute video or sentence, you know. There's a whole complexity with love when it comes to the depths of a person's soul and connecting those two universes together as one. It's forming a new being. It's magnetic. You can't explain it, right? There's no linguistic that can tell you what that even feels like to begin with. When that unfolds and when that occurs, and when you agree on things, and when you share in your likes and your dislikes, like, it's just, and when you have to, you know, set aside differences, that's a whole process. So when you ask the question, how did you meet? How did you first meet? How did your boyfriend know you? Like, I have to explain myself. I hope you understand. So I think I've covered most everything, but here we are today, and still going strong. I pray and I hope. And yeah, but I keep private, like Onisha Robinson would say. I keep private. That's private when other stuff, right? Like, I think this is where I stop sharing for a while, because I just wanted to answer your questions, fulfill your requests, and do the story time. So that's how we met, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. And like I said, he's had such a I wanted to cover one last topic. He's had such a very hard life. You know, he even went homeless for a while. He's had such a difficult upbringing. You know, with his family, his parents, and it's just his toughness inspires me. You know, his strength within inspires me, because he's so strong, and he makes it in a good way. I mean this with love. He makes my problems seem so small, because I know we have equal problems, you know what I mean? But it doesn't increase his problem or diminish mine. It just means point blankly that I have no right to complain. I have no, like, almost like every problem I have almost feels like such what they call like a first world problem, right? So I'm sure many of you know what Baltimore is like. It is not the nicest place. Not everyone survives. Not everyone gets out. So he's always been trying to manifest Florida and get out. And he thought I lived in Chicago still. So he had no idea I was in Florida, not to mention the part of Florida he wanted to move in. What are the odds? Is that not divine connection? So there you go. I'll end it on that note. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. And hey, maybe next time you question or doubt, why isn't something working? Why isn't something happening? Why is it every time I date someone it's not working? Maybe there's someone waiting for you on the other side. Take care, guys. Make sure you subscribe.